the plot thickens, and so does something else, if you know what I'm saying. But One Punch Man episode 5 has really hit its stride in season 2, which obviously didn't get the strongest start, with a lot of like kind of wonky looking stuff, a lot of still images and editing tricks to kind of create the illusion of movement. But episode 3 really started the stride here, and episode 5 I think is a great mix of not only action and actual animation and really cool looking movement, but comedy and of course story building as well. But this I thought was incredibly interesting, with the monsters just coming out of the woodwork more and more. And I feel like they've kind of been building to this a little bit. Even in season 1, Saitama was saying that it's even more monsters. Even though more heroes are coming out, there's even more monsters coming out too. So like the number of heroes aren't making the number of monsters go down, and I thought that was incredibly interesting. And here we're kind of starting to get some payoff from that. And so the episode starts off with Centuro, the giant centipede, which actually turns out to be a drone, very interesting. And Metal Knight, of course, you know, being the quote-unquote hero that he is, he's only testing his weapons. And if you remember season 1, he went to stop the meteor, but it was only for the sake of testing his weapons, and he wasn't even actually there. I'm wondering if Metal Knight is actually here in this suit now. And it's interesting because Metal Knight, when the centipede goes back down, he latches himself on there to go down with him. So I'm looking forward to where that goes, because that could be rather interesting. But of course, the cliffhanger from last episode was Metal Bat versus Garou. Now this is where a lot of the movement and really badassery comes into play. With Metal Bat, of course, he showed off how badass he was in the last episode, but now he's facing Garou, the main villain of the arc, who's taken down, you know, a number of fairly highly ranked heroes. Now he's going against Metal Bat, and it is revealed that the more damage Metal Bat takes, the stronger he gets. And Garou even says, like, dude, you've got broken bones, you've lost so much blood. But Metal Bat, being the badass that he is, he just keeps going relentlessly no matter what Garou does to him. But eventually, finally, he seems to reach his limit. Garou knocks him on his back. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna flinch or something. He's gonna do something to surprise Garou. But Garou just starts walking away, and I'm like, oh man, is that really it? But no, he freaking turns just like Tank Top Black Hole with his giant fist. Metal Bat with his glowing eyes and his giant bat. Vroom! He's got freaking Garou dead to rights right there. But then his sister appears and stops him, because he promised her that he wouldn't be fighting around her, or there wouldn't be violence around her. So he stops inches from freaking Garou's face, and that was so freaking hilarious. And, you know, I'm sure people might be disappointed with this ending because it might feel somewhat anticlimactic, but I think this was an awesome way to end it. It fits with the tone of the show, you know, the humor side of things, and Metal Bat still keeps his badass cred because he was about to smash Garou's face in. And what do you guys think? Do you think Metal Bat would have defeated Garou if that bat landed on his freaking face? But anyway, what really made me lose it was when Metal Bat and his sister were walking away, and Metal Bat's going back to protect the director and his kid that he left with Pineapple and Mohawk Dude, which have now been confronted by Rocksteady, the Rhinoceros guy, and Ostrich Dude. But his sister knocks him lightly on the head, and that's it. He's done. I freaking lost it, man. That's all he had left, and he was still gonna go try to protect against that giant centipede. That was freaking awesome. Metal Bat is the MVP of the last couple episodes, man. We go back to Garou, and the ostrich dude comes back, and freaking human hand comes out of his freaking belly with a Monster Association invitation. God dang, this show is so freaking weird and kooky, you know. But he gives him an invitation to the Monsters Association. Very interesting. And when he got this, I thought, oh man, this is gonna be like Garou's heyday. He's gonna really like this. But he shreds up the invitation. I thought that was very weird. So I guess Garou, in his hunt for heroes, is a rather selfish hunt for heroes. He doesn't want to share the glory in defeating these heroes. He wants to be the monster. But what's interesting about Garou, again, is not only that, but when he ends the fight with Metal Bat, it's because of his sister. His sister goes in front front of Metal Bat, and that shows again that Garou might have a soft spot for kids because he's kind of buddy-buddy with the kid on the park bench. Of course, he uses him for that Monster Atlas too, but he decides not to finish off Metal Bat because his little sister is right there. I thought that was very interesting and some good character development for Garou. So the monsters succeed in getting not the director and the kid, they just take the kid, which is very interesting. And I'm thinking that now that we've shown that Garou has a soft spot for kids, I wonder if Garou is not only going to be going against the heroes and hunting heroes, but because they stole this little kid that he has a soft spot for, he's going to go after the Monsters Association instead of joining them. He's going to be an enemy of them and an enemy of the heroes. So man, this is, oh my God, this plot is getting more and more interesting as time goes on. And we're only halfway through, almost halfway through the season, but oh my God, I'm so curious to know what's going to happen next. If you comment in the comments below, please, if you're going to mention the manga, please put spoilers or manga spoilers before your comment. That would be very, very much appreciated. And not only that, but it gets even more interesting when the monsters we see many interesting, very interesting monsters coming out, and they're mentioning their threat levels. They're like, oh, I'm gonna increase my threat level, and that is an awesome freaking parallel to the heroes and increasing their A class, B class, and so on. So we got these like tiger level, threat level monsters, and they're like, oh, I want to be demon or dragon level threat now. Like, how many heroes do I have to kill or destroy, or city blocks I need to destroy to become a freaking tiger or demon level class monster? God dang, that's so freaking interesting. So now we have all these monsters attacking and all these heroes just having such a hard time with these monsters, and the monsters even say that, hey, these heroes and these humans are a lot weaker than we thought. And oh my God, that's so freaking interesting even more. And then we have that little storyline matched with the tournament and Saitama. Finally, we're getting to Saitama's tournament, and it's so freaking funny that when he's introduced, they're like, don't aim for the head. And because he's got the wig on, he's like, oh man, if somebody hits me in the head, my wig's gonna fall off and I'll be outed as a fraud. And Sourface, of course, still thinks that he's Taranko. That's hilarious. Does Sourface have poor eyesight, or he just doesn't remember what Taranko looks like? The wig is so convincing of a disguise. So man, so interesting. And this is a lot of humor again too, man. I busted laughing a number of times in this episode. And one instance in particular was Genos clapping like a freaking robot. If you freaking busted laughing, put that down in the comments, man. Because I literally had to pause the show to finish laughing because I couldn't concentrate on anything else. But oh my God, this tournament, I'm looking forward to this tournament. Very interesting. It's given me like a little bit of Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament vibes for some reason. I don't know why. So this tournament is going on while the monsters are wreaking havoc and giving the heroes a hard time. Now the designs on these monsters, each and every one of them is unique and interesting, especially Super S. You know, we were getting to this, the S&M freaking whip slave hot babe monster. I think we have a quota of one hot babe monster per season on One Punch Man now. Last season we had the mosquito chick. This season it's freaking Super S, whatever that means. And her whip actually makes anyone she whips into a love slave, and they turn against the other heroes. Oh my God, that's so like imaginative and interesting. And her design is very interesting too, until Fubuki shows up and she's like, oh, they'll owe me a favor if I defeat you. So I'm looking forward to that fight. I don't know how Super S is gonna hold up to Fubuki's like telekinesis. But that should be cool. And I wonder if her whip's gonna work on her. Oh man, that would be bad news for everybody. But to end the episode off, we have Sourface actually saying something rather interesting here. He says martial artists who become heroes are seen as taking the easy way out. And that's rather interesting because if you remember in the last episode or episode before that, when I mentioned that there's a lot of really skilled martial artists who didn't become heroes. Now I'm wondering, with how hard of a time heroes are having with these monsters, I'm wondering if there are martial artists there that are even more powerful than even the top ranked heroes. So that should be very interesting to see going down the road here. And I'm wondering that if some of the martial artists are gonna have to step in and take out a lot of these monsters. So we leave the episode off with Saitama fighting Zakos, a very obviously prideful and kind of full of himself, low-ranked martial artist, and he's going up against Saitama. I wonder how this is gonna end. But what do you guys think? Do you think that he's gonna aim for the head and knock Saitama's wig off, and Saitama's gonna end up having to run away or something like that? But anyway, as always, drop your thought waves down in the comments below. What did you think of this episode? I loved it. And as always, subscribe if you're not. I do One Punch Man reviews every week, and take it easy.